tree, chasing deer around. It's just not worth it. Today is Veterans Day. I want to take a moment, to recognize all of the veterans out there. It's because of you that we have the ability to go and hunt and live in this great country. Every one of you is a hero. You signed up to put your life on the line so that we can enjoy doing things like this. So thank you to all of you. Special shout out to Chris Ruppel, Jared Pruitt, former Marine Corps veterans. Lived with you guys for a couple of years. Art Belos, Kyle Bushman, miss you guys. Opal as well. And Grandpa Jackson, Grandpa Fellows. Miss you guys too. Thank you for your service. harsh realities of bow hunting. Putting in a ton of time, long sits, and I just missed a big one. Bummed out. Sorry. Things were looking like it was going to pay off. We made a super aggressive move and hung this stand yesterday afternoon. The last 2 days I've seen 2 different shooters come out to the end of the point. We got a stand sitting about 60, 75 yards that way, down in the ditch, but consistently was seeing deer work out at the end of the point. So we got aggressive and hung this mobile set we have out here yesterday afternoon while there was some wind, because this morning was dead calm, and we knew I'd be making a ton of noise if I tried to set in the morning. So had a solid 8-point come through early, and then had a doe come up, followed by a buck we call Double D, big 9-pointer. And she knew something was up. She was moving really slow right away, but I don't know if she saw me move a little bit or just the fact that something's new up here. But she was kind of on to me a little bit right away and very, very slow to move. But she was on a trail that would have been just brought him by at 12 yards and it would have been a slam dunk. But she didn't really like things, and eventually turned around and started going out to the point. And he was following, and I had ranged a spot earlier, and I just couldn't get a consistent range on it. It was anywhere from 35 to 40 to 44, and I had my pin set at 35 because I figured they were going to come in front of that tree while he's behind it, and so I knew it was a little longer shot, but I shot clean right underneath him. So, man, it was right in line. It just was low, but I'm glad it was a clean miss, and that's part of the game. Misses are part of the game. It's unfortunate, but it's early in the morning yet, and the wind is starting to kick in. That's why I'm finally doing my first little talk of the day. But about 5 minutes after that happened, I had another small buck come through, 4 yards away from me. Of course, he doesn't care. He doesn't pick me up. But those does, they save a lot of bucks each year. So, darn it. But ton of day left. I'm certain that's not the last deer I'll see, so I'm sure we'll get some more bucks coming up to check this point, but don't know if it'll be the right one. So stay with it. We're going for redemption now. Maybe she'll bring them back through. Doubtful, but you never know. It is the RUT. I just shot a bullwinkle. It's crazy, it happened so fast. I heard him coming. I got so lucky. He came on this little bench down here below me, and camera almost messed me up. I know I didn't get the shot on film. I just got the camera turned on and onto him by the time he got into my shooting lane. And then he was in my second shooting lane. I had to adjust my pin. I think he just crashed. I had to adjust my pin. He was almost out of my lane. And there was a twig that I did not see hanging down, and the arrow was almost to him. It hit the twig and deflected, and I'm pretty sure I ended up shooting him through the femoral artery. Unbelievable. Haven't seen a deer all day. Stuck here in the middle of the rut grind. It is 1:15. And I'm pretty sure my Wisconsin archery buck tag is going to be punched. Oh, that's crazy. It's good to know that it still gets the ticker going though. Get that fever going. Alright, I think it's been about a half hour. I'm gonna go get down and just check right where I hit him, look at the blood. Like I said, I hit him back. I think it might be in the butt, but I'm pretty sure I got that femoral artery. So I'm gonna go look at that. I'm not gonna go try to find him right now, but I at least want to get the spot marked where I hit him. So when we come back, probably just wait till dark, because Pat is hunting. He's just over the top of this ridge here from me. So I don't really want to stir things up too much and mess him up. Bucks are moving. He just sent me a text that he just had an 8-point come through too, so a little bit of midday rut action, a little bit of magic. See you on the blood. Alright, well, here we are, going down to see if I can figure out where exactly I hit him, see if I can find a little bit of blood. But anyways, if you look up here, that's where I was sitting, okay, and I was sitting up in that tree stand, and he was standing kind of right over by this stump. I literally had no more space before I could shoot, and said that I hit a branch. So if you look right, let's see, to mess with the zoom, Okay. If you look right here on the branch, if you look right there on the branch, you can see this is where my broadhead hit, which is why it deflected and hit him in the butt. Not ideal, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Let's go over here, see if we can find any blood. Alright, so he's standing right about here. And you can see these are turned, oh yeah, right there. We got blood right here. More blood. A little bit of hair. I think that should do it. I better go crawl back up in my tree and then see what Pat wants to do. We'll check back in a little later.
Well, heading her out to go find my buck. Hoping for the best. I think it's a good shot. So finally got connected back up with Pat. Here I am in my skivvies, you know. That's how you do it, baby. When you got a fever, you get a little warm, so you can't be wearing bibs out there. Let's do it.
Let's go get this thing, huh? That's a good path, huh? You can't see it. Hoping you ran down a little further for dragging purposes.
You think it'd be hard dragging, huh?
No, it's not. Right here, bud.
What?
Right there. Right in the ditch. Yeah, dude. Oh, yes.
Sweet.
There he is. Oh, he's nice, dude.
That's why I couldn't see him, huh?
He's like right in the ditch.
Literally.
There he is.
Oh, no.
Let me get a little closer here.
Oh, you stiff.
Congrats, dude.
Sweet. There he is. He's heavy.
Yeah. Dandy ate. Buck we had called Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
Because he started off with like wide and then low short tines, kind of like the old Bullwinkle character.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
He took quite the tumble down here.
I'd say.
I mean, you can see where he came
That's
down.
a steep ditch. It's pretty steep. It's hard to see in here, but it's a steep ditch.
He's just a nice...
He's a beauty.
Nice 8. Reality is, tomorrow is going to be my last opportunity to hunt with the bow, probably. At least when it's good. Late season gets a little rough out here, so came by and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take the opportunity to fill my tag. So
yeah, dude, he's a great buck.
He's a good one.
He's got really, like, could be the light, like a dark head.
Yeah.
Like forehead.
Yep.
Really dark colored.
Really dark. Yep. Amazing how tough their antlers are.
I know. Fall down into a rocky ditch like this.
Look up this thing and
way up there.
you can see where all the leaves are rustled up where he fell down. He was done. He was done right away.
You want to talk about the shot? Or
yeah, so
anything?
Get this out of my way here first. Don't really get to lead you down a blood trail, but what happened was he was coming, and there's an old overgrown logging road that runs kind of up this hillside, and then halfway up the hill it curls around and then follows this hillside out, and it's secluded, like I said, overgrown, so it's just like a nice flat bench, deer bed up in this point, some down in the bottom here. There's a bunch of thick cedars, and then up on this ridge over behind me. So we hung that stand with the idea that, you know, we weren't going to sit it until it was the rut, and that's a pretty good travel corridor for them to use. So anyway, he was coming up towards me, and I had about, I don't know, 3,000 squirrels, it seemed like, around me all day today, running in circles, rustling leaves, and I had just sent Pat a text, something along the lines of
110. It was like, I'm still riding the skunk train.
Still riding.
Like, hadn't seen a deer all day yet. At 110.
Yep, had not seen a deer yet, and I got done sending that, and I was actually sending him another one about possibly changing locations, and I started to hear leaves rustling, and I figured, oh, it's just the squirrels. But
111, this guy jumps on the bench.
he jumps on the bench, so like I literally had about, I don't know, from the time I figured out that it was a buck coming, I probably had about 12 seconds to grab my bow, get my release on, flip the camera open, try to get the camera pointed. Meanwhile, I'm holding my bow, so now I'm trying to use my left hand. I'm holding onto the strings, use my left hand to get the thing open and get it where it's supposed to be. Like, I hit the zoom, I didn't even look at the screen. I'm like, yeah, it's probably close. And then I see him step into the frame. I'm like, oh, I gotta get my bow drawn back. So I drew my bow back, and by the time I was drawn, he had just cleared the lane. I never like to try to stop him, you know, until I'm drawn back, because that's a lot of movement for them to be able to pick up on if you still have to draw. So then I had to let down because I shoot a single pin. Had to change it to 30 because our next lane is 30. Well, by the time I did that, he was about halfway through that lane. So I actually, that time I did stop him because he was just about to leave the lane. And then I drew back as he was stopped and settled in, and my shot looked really good until right at the end when it hit a little twig or a stick and deflected. So got pretty lucky. It deflected right into his hindquarters and took out his femoral artery. It looks like I still got a pass through on him. There's
Yeah.
an exit wound over here. So, you know.
And they expire fast when you hit them in the femoral artery, but it certainly wasn't on purpose.
No, that was not an intentional move. I really didn't, you know, I was so focused on where I was going to be trying to put my arrow that I never had even seen that stick. It was one that was just kind of hanging down over the trail, and naturally I caught it a little bit, but it all worked out.
And then
you can see it on the footage in the tree when I say, "Oh, I think he just crashed," and sure enough, he did.
And by 1:12, I got a text, B-wink down.
Yep.
Or I just shot B-wink.
Shot B-wink.
Craziest set of hunting texts I've ever got, going from being skunked all day at 1:10 to 2 minutes later, shooter buck down.
Yep, smack dab in the middle of the
That
day.
is the rut in a nutshell, is it not? Going from skunk to...
It pays, you know, it pays to sit all day. It's a hard thing to do. Mentally, it's tough, but, you know, right here's the proof. So just really appreciate the opportunity that we have to hunt where we do. It's private land that we have permission on. I think we've been out here, is this what we figure out, 17 years?
17 years, yeah.
A lot of great memories, and you know, it's been a little bit of a grind this year. It's always hard on the family being gone, and you know, just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to harvest an animal like this, and none of him will go to waste. So
got it, man. Let's get him out of here.
let's get him out. Yeah, Buck Fever Outdoors, baby. There we go.
I didn't know we were that close.
Yeah.
That's not where he ended. I dragged him for a little while.
Yep. You probably had, what, 2/3 of it?
Yeah.
But still, that wasn't
Still,
very
that was
far.
not bad at all. Downhill.
I was a little off. I think I told you he's laying about 50 yards from the water tank, but he was probably more like, what, 75 up
75 from the tank. Let's get them loaded up, huh? Are we just going to put them on a rack?
there? Sure.
Why not?
We don't have to break our back.
Lift them not quite as high.
Although, in comparison to Ty's buck, this guy is light.
There, he's not going anywhere. November the 11th, Veterans Day. Thanks to all those that have served our country in some form or fashion in the military. Gives us the freedom to be bow hunters and live a great life here in America. So thank you, vets. All right. Get them back to camp. Whoa, what was that?
Grunt. Buck grunt.
Buck grunt. All right, fire it up. Blind me by that light. Ho, 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 ho! Deer gone. Hold on. That's also being recorded.
What's that?
It's a deer gone, and that's also still being recorded.
We got a fart. We got a fart in there, and we got a deer gone.
We got a deer rolled off the cart about the first 10 yards. All right. I'm going to get off the camera and help get this situated. Buck Fever Outdoors, you just never quite know the fun stuff that's going to happen.
That's a wrap. He's hung. Let's go get a cocktail.
Cocktail time, celebrate. Oh, let's start with the beer first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get one of these quick.
Yep, crack it.
Cheers, buddy. Congrats.
Cheers. If you recall, I forgot my water bottle at the camp today. So this is the first thing I've had to drink since 4:45 this morning.
Well, I can tell you it won't be the last.
No, certainly will not.
All right.
Gonna enjoy it.
Let's go enjoy it. It's our last Saturday night of bow season. Together, at least.
Yep, and then next week, Friday, we'll be together for the big one.
The big one.